All right, welcome back, Global 9 Honors students. This is week 33, our screencast for May 3rd through May 7th. Happy beginning of May. Outdoor fun begins today, so hopefully this finds you well. All right, let's continue right into our Schoology course where here we are working through week 33. I'm going to double click on this just to show you how things are organized. Um, this screencast, likely you're finding it right here. There are three things this week. All of them are pretty straightforward and simple. I'm going to review the Africa map first. Second, I'll show you a little bit about a Ghana Mali Songhai reading. And lastly will be a New Visions Empires of West Africa activity with two different YouTube videos. So I do want to show you where those are located. There was an error in one of our links. And in case we don't fix it before you get there, at least you'll know which videos we've got. So we are talking about the post-classical civilizations. Last week we've been studying and working our way through the Islamic Empire, and here we are now in North Africa. The Sahara Desert, of course, is going to be a main piece to what's going to happen. We can see a real rough sketch of what will be called the Cross-Sahara Trade Network. This is where gold from the south will be traded with salt from the north, and whoever is in control of these trade routes will be in control. So we will see, particularly we'll focus in on the kingdoms of Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. But there are kingdoms in East Africa that time will just not allow us to get to. So this first activity is to review a few things about this time and in this region of the world. So here are some things that we would like for you to read through and go over. And you can see here the gold and salt and even ivory is going to be a big piece. It starts with slaves in this period, but that will really heighten around the time of the 1500s with the Atlantic slave trade network into the Americas. But for now, if you could just download the file and I'll show you what to do. So let's take a look at the map file. So you can see up on the screen I've actually taken the map and I've copied it several times. You can see on my right hand tray. So let me just try to show you what it is that we're going to focus on. I'll go over here first and do the bodies of water. So you should be able to see, I'll just go right in order here with the Atlantic, Indian, Red Sea, Persian Gulf, and Mediterranean. So I'm going to go around counterclockwise. Here's the Atlantic Ocean. The Indian Ocean, you just need to know that that's off to the far right-hand side. The Persian Gulf separates the Arabian Peninsula with this part of Asia, which is like present-day Pakistan and Afghanistan is going to be way over here. The Red Sea separates at the mainland Africa with Saudi Arabia. And the Mediterranean Sea is going to be to the north of Africa. And of course, this is where the Roman Empire was. If I continue into the next column, we will see the different rivers that are located here. And we'll start off with the Nile River. So all I did is I took a blue highlighter and I just drew in the Nile River. Next, I have the Niger River to the left in the area of West Africa. Next, we have the Congo River Basin. This is where the rainforests are located over here in Central Africa. And lastly, we have the Zambezi River, which is roughly down here. So just get an idea. There's some major river systems throughout Africa, but we'll talk a little bit more about Africa and particularly its climate. You can see right here the equator is drawn about halfway through the continent of Africa, Africa being the second largest continent in the world. And we'll see how that climate is going to have this mirroring effect. Okay, so I'm going to hit up the last two columns here by just navigating to the next map. So all I did is I took a dark blue pen with a thick marker here and I just dotted in with two blue dots. Okay, so we've got Lake Chad right here in the center, and then we've got Lake Victoria. Victoria does not sound like a very African name. Certainly Queen Victoria of England, a little ways on in history, will get the recognition for European explorers finding that. Double-headed arrow is going to represent the Suez Canal. So this would not be completed until the 1800s or so. Actually, the French and British together wound up making that effort, but this is going to be a major shipping trade network throughout the course of history, the Suez Canal, and it just massive, it just opens up a massive ship network. Typically, trade ships would have to go all the way around the tip of Cape Horn here, Cape of Good Hope rather, the Horn of Africa, and that's how trading would take place until the Suez was completed in the mid 1860s or so. You can obviously see the yellow bubbles. All I did is I took an orange marker or so and then an orange highlighter to give it that transparency look to color in a rough estimate of the Sahara Desert. To the south, we have the Kalahari Desert. So you could go ahead and label those things and press play and pause whenever you need to. Last, let's hit up the last column here with the Atlas Mountains, the Ethiopian Highlands, the two famous mountains, and the Great Rift Valley is a good review for us. So I'm just going to make this a little easier for myself. We'll start straight away with the Atlas Mountains to the north west part of Africa near Spain. Here's the Strait of Gibraltar. So we have that. The Ethiopian Highlands, all I did is I took a brown highlighter similar to the Atlas Mountains and I made just a little bubble here and I've labeled it the Ethiopian Highlands. I will go just south of the equator. So if you can see that dotted line of the equator, and I'll put just two upside down V's representing those two mountains, Mount Kenya and Mount Kilimanjaro, just a little bit north. Famous Mount Kilimanjaro is a dormant volcano. You'll see it has a very flat rooftop. In fact, what I did was, I believe, yeah, here it is. I added a picture in of Mount Kilimanjaro, and you could see in the grasslands, the savanna grasslands out in the fore picture, we have the wonderful African animals. But then off to the side, we have the clouds, and then above the clouds is Mount Kilimanjaro, flat as can be. Yet, just about on the equator, we see a snow-capped top showing us its altitude. I thought it was also interesting with Lake Victoria. I took away that dark blue dot and I added in a picture here. And if you didn't know better, you might even think this was Niagara Falls. It looks quite the same, but this is Lake Victoria and Victoria Falls right there in the center of Africa. So the last thing to label here, and I just changed colors for no particular reason other than to separate it, but it's right in this eastern area here. We always talk about the birthplace of mankind. Scientifically, we realize that this is where the oldest human remains were found, and it is in the Great Rift Valley. So again, just an upside down V showing us a Grand Canyon kind of look, a big huge valley that is looks like it's just sliced out of the earth. And there it was the two archaeologists, a team, husband and wife, the Leakeys, Dr. Leakey, found in around 1968 or so when the famous Beatles song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was famous, so they named the female remains that had been just carbon dated to the earliest known. Since then, they've actually found other remains that were in the same area of Africa. Ardi is the next, the oldest one, but this was Lucy, and for a long time. So what this does is, again, just to review, a spiraling back to the early days of our course, this contradicts the story of the Garden of Eden. Of course, the Garden of Eden way up here, and it's not even drawn in here, but the Tigris and Euphrates rivers up in Mesopotamia is where the story, the creation myth story of Adam and Eve with Jews, Christians, and Muslims. So I think that covers our map. Hopefully you have created your own, and you are good to go. Next, let's go back to Schoology, where I will show you the next handout. So I'm going to click on the self-paced folder. We've done the map. Here is the Ghana Mali Songhai reading. And what I'll do is I'll click over into to my own notes and Notability, and I'll give you a little help. This is a pretty straightforward activity. If you go through and download that into Notability as it's asking you to do, again, we have a little bit of a reading here talking about Mali. Timbuktu, the cities, is really what's going to be the highlight here. We will learn through this, we'll get at least introduced to, but definitely next week when we talk about it as a class, is this character named Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa is going to be one of the wealthiest persons in all of history. And we'll find out why and how through this reading and through our upcoming lessons. We'll also note that he makes a famous pilgrimage or Hajj to Mecca, indicating that he is in fact Muslim. So Islam has definitely made its way from Mecca in Saudi Arabia westward across the Sahara Desert and over to Mali in the 1300s. We see the influence here. So if I could, I'll just navigate back over to our iPad into Notability. You can go ahead and highlight. I did not highlight in this reading. You'll see the whole first chunk here, if I could, This whole piece is going to answer a lot of the first questions about what everyone has in common. So I'll just leave that up there, a little academic Easter egg for you there to find. You can press play and pause as you will. But we've helped you with the first three questions, going through a few things. Just a typical note sheet. You could do Ghana, Mali, and Songhai on your own. Pretty straightforward. It's just a fill-in-the-blank style sheet. Last, I'm going to go over the last piece of our self-paced work, which is going to be a New Visions activity. It is the empires of West Africa. So let's take a peek. The only hiccup was that the videos, just in case, if they do not appear on your PDF file, you could always go right here into Schoology, and each of the two videos are located here for you to take a peek at. So if I could, I will just go over to the New Visions assignment. And once we get through the title page about, why were the West African empires so prosperous? And then we'll talk about the effects that Mansa Musa, the famous guy I just mentioned from Mali, and what effect he had on Africa. So if I could, I'll just go down and show you again. We're starting to see this same map of West Africa. So this has not too much color, but hopefully you could see, this is the Atlantic Ocean out to the very far left, and West Africa here in the center middle of the map. If we go down a little bit here, and again, some of the stuff here with the kingdoms of Africa. Timbuktu is actually a place. It's in Mali. It was a wonderful learning center. But what I want to do is point out, here are the two videos. So the first one goes through Mansa Musa being the wealthiest person that ever lived. And then there's a National Geographic video. This link does not work. We're going to update that as soon as we can. But meanwhile, if you take a peek, here is the YouTube video. So it should pop open to you. It's just barely 4 minutes. And then the second video is about the same. It's only a couple minutes long, but it goes through and shows us a little bit more about the kingdoms of Africa, Mansa Musa, and the greatness that was all around the post-classical civilizations in Africa. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask your teachers via email or otherwise. Have a great week.